coming in here. And actually, we just have a tornado warning in effect for parts of Jefferson County, so which means we're going to stay with this. So what we're going to do right now is just hold it here. So we have a tornado warning in effect. So what's going to happen, we are going to let, I'll take this, and Taylor's going to start working the equipment, and I'm going to go back over to the wall. So again, this is going to be a tornado warning in effect, and we will get the Polygon up on the display. The first thing we want to do is show the people who's in and who's out. All right, so there's the area of rotation. Again, we've seen broad areas of rotation here over the past 15 to 20 minutes with this. This is downtown Birmingham right here. That broad rotation is up Interstate 22. Again, this is Adamsville, Cardiff, Brookside, right in through here. So what we're going to do is pop on the Polygon so we can tell you who's in and we can tell you who's out in a case like this with a highly populated part of the world here, Jefferson County. So again, Taylor, if we can... Okay.
Has just showed up at this point.
So there we go. This is your Polygon right here. So again, this is downtown Birmingham. So downtown Birmingham at Point South, you are not in this tornado warning. This is for the northern part of Jefferson County. And again, that rotation is located right in through here. All right, that's Interstate 22 right here. That's I-65. Interstate 22 intersects with I-65 right here. That's the circulation. So again, this is coming out toward the Coldberg Road exit that will ultimately be crossing Interstate 65 up here toward Fultondale. So in this warning, we have Gardendale, we have Fultondale, we have Brookside, we have the community of Coldberg, and then the communities out here in the eastern part of Jefferson County. This would include places like Center Point. This would include Huffman, Clay, Chalkville, and Trussville. So again, if you're in any of these places, this is when you want to go through your tornado safety plan. That would be a small room, lowest floor, near the center, and away from windows. You don't have to be underground, but we want you in that safe place. And in that safe place, we want you wearing a helmet for everybody. That really mitigates major injuries if you do have a tornado crossing your particular location. So again, if you're just joining us, it's 10:35 now, and I'm James Spann with Taylor Sarallo. We have a tornado warning in effect for the northern part of the Birmingham metro area, the northern part of Jefferson County, for this rotation you see here. And quite frankly, it's not the classic tight circulation, but I think maybe as a course of least regret, the Weather Service decided to go ahead and post a warning since this is going to be crossing a very densely populated part of the state of Alabama, northern Jefferson County. So again, this is US 31 right here. That's Interstate 65 right here. Gardendale is here, Fultondale, Mount Olive, Newcastle. This is Alabama Highway 79 going up toward Pinson. Pinson is involved in this. The community of Tarrant, Center Point, Huffman, Roebuck, and then ultimately Clay, Chalkville, Trussville up here in the northeastern part of the county. This is Argo near the St. Clair County line. So if you are in that Polygon, this is the time to go to a safe place. That's a small room, closet, hall, bathroom, lowest floor. You don't have to be underground. If you have an upstairs and a downstairs, just be down near the center of the house, and no windows. And again, if you have time, and preferably you have one of these in your safe place, everybody needs to have a helmet on just in case you do have some damage and there's shrapnel flying, and most people that are seriously injured are injured from blunt force trauma. So a helmet's a very important thing. And I stress, if you are not in this Polygon, there is no other severe weather anywhere else in the state. This is the only warning, the first warning of the night, hopefully the last. But again, we've got the possibility of a tornado, which is right here. So, Taylor, if we can take our Birmingham sky cam maybe from the power company and point it back up in that direction, it's going to be very difficult to show tornadoes at night. We all know that, especially down here in the southern United States. Most tornadoes are small, they're brief. In a case like this, they're rain-wrapped. But again, this is Jasper. Want to go to Birmingham. If we can pull that one up from the power company downtown, want to look back to the north and west. We're looking at Children's of Alabama, so Taylor's going to take that, zoom it out, and rotate the camera around so we can watch up in that zone. But again, as you watch this, the key message here, if you are north of downtown Birmingham, and again, some of the places that we've been calling out, Adamsville, Graysville, Fultondale, Forestdale, Gardendale, Mount Olive, Pinson, Newcastle, Tarrant, Center Point, Clay, Trussville, Chalkville. Anywhere near those communities, you want to be in a safe place, okay? And Taylor, if we don't have control on that, we'll, let's see, is this,
This is looking northwest.
Okay. All right. That's this is from the power company, or is this Children's? Okay. So we're just going to let this camera look back up into this region here for just a second and see if we can see lightning illuminating any feature that might let us know there's a wall cloud or a tornado there. This is a case where, again, it's very densely populated. If there's something there, we'll know. And I'm surprised there's not that much lightning, quite frankly, with this view. Typically, I would expect to see with a tornadic type storm, the lightning almost being nonstop. So let's go back to the radar. We'll let Taylor kind of watch the Skycam network, and if we see something there, we'll come back to that. So again, this is the radar, and again, within this large mass of heavy rain, we have the possibility of what could be a small tornado. Typically in a case like this is not a classic night for tornadoes, but there could be a small brief tornado right in through here. And again, to get your bearings straight, that's Interstate 22 right here. This is where it intersects with I-65 right here. Just north of downtown Birmingham, Fultondale, Gardendale. Possible tornado is along or just north of Interstate 22 near Colberg Road. And that tornadic circulation is going to be crossing over Interstate 65 pretty close to Fultondale fairly soon, within the next couple of minutes. So obviously the first call to action here is the fact that nobody should be driving along Interstate 65 from really downtown Birmingham up to, let's say, Morris and Kimberly over the course of the next 15 minutes. This will be east of I-65 fairly soon. But again, nobody should be traveling along Interstate 65 north of downtown Birmingham up here to near the county line, the Jefferson County line, because the last place you want to be is a car. And after it crosses I-65, it'll be crossing US 31. The most likely location here in terms of where this will be crossing the interstate is just south of Gardendale. But still, if you're in Gardendale or Mount Olive, you need to be in a safe place as well. You respect the Polygon. That means if you're in it, you do something. And if you're not, it's okay. Just watch things, but you don't have any danger at this point. But most likely, this will be affecting Fultondale, just south of Gardendale. Then it's going to be coming out here toward Alabama Highway 79, which is right here. That is Alabama Highway 75 right here. This is Center Point Parkway from Roebuck up to Huffman and Center Point. And again, that possible tornadic circulation, again, is going to be coming through Fultondale, then coming out here toward Robinwood. Robinwood is a bit south of Pinson, and then ultimately towards Center Point and Huffman. So if you're in any of these places that we're calling out, the call to action here is for you guys to be in a safe place. And obviously, no vehicles, no traveling by car in a case like this. And of course, the other thing where it's not a good situation is for you to be in a mobile home. Obviously, if you are in a mobile home, you have to go to a more substantial structure. So again, we are in the process of working a tornado warning that is currently in effect for the northern part of Jefferson County. This is James Spann with Taylor Sarallo. And Taylor, if you see any damage reports, please let me know.
So far, no damage reports, but in the chat we're seeing that some spotters are reporting power flashes, potentially. And that was near Forestdale. Okay.
So again, we are at now 10:43 and seeing some of the same reports that you are, Taylor, about the power flashes. But again, so the bottom line is we have a tornado warning in effect now, and the best possible thing to do is just to simply watch us, and we'll get you through this. But the circulation is located right here. Again, this is US 31 here. That's I-65 right here. That circulation is really crossing over both of these major highways as we speak in Fultondale. This is Fieldstown Road right here. This is Gardendale. This is Fultondale right here. That's your circulation. And again, most likely this is going to be a little south of Gardendale. But again, if you're in the Polygon, you stay sheltered until we give you an all clear. Now, we can give an all clear to areas off to the west, like Adamsville and Graysville. We'll give you an all clear. The concern now is from Fultondale back on to the east. And again, the next major highway is going to be Highway 79, which is right here. This runs from Tarrant all the way up to Pinson, which is right up here. Pinson is here, Tarrant is down here. This will likely come in around the community of Robinwood, Pawnee, which is along Highway 79 north of Tarrant, south of Pinson. And then next, it's going to be crossing the parkway out here. Center Point will be probably in the path of this, and from there, it's going to come out in the general direction of Clay, Chalkville, and Trussville. and we'll see if it maintains its current strength until St. Clair County. The rotation pretty much all night has been fairly broad, but again, in this case, the rotation is fairly well defined. It's not a classic tornadic circulation, but no doubt we've got evidence of it located right here. So the latest volume scans suggest that the tornadic circulation is now east of I-65 and east of US 31. Give it about 5 minutes and then you can travel back on Interstate 65 and US 31. Again, most likely it's safe to do that now, but we like to give you some pad time. So I'd say at about 10:50, it's okay to travel Interstate 65 and US 31. Nobody should be on Pinson Valley Parkway, which is this road right here. That's Alabama Highway 79.
James, we do now have it as a confirmed tornado via debris signature on radar headed towards Center Point. So there's a strong velocity signature, and this is now a confirmed tornado.
Okay. And again, seeing a lot of reports of high wind. Can we pop the correlation coefficient product on here real quick just to see if we can note that? Yeah, there it is right there.
Yep.
So again, you notice the negative CC value. That represents something other than hydrometeors. This is not rain, it's not snow, it's not sleet, it's not hail. This would be debris being lofted from below. This could be boards, bricks, glass, nails, parts of trees or tree limbs or parts of buildings. So again, we're now calling this a confirmed tornado that is down just to the east of US 31 in the vicinity of Fultondale. And again, that's going to be coming out here toward the community of Pawnee, which is between Tarrant and Pinson. This is Pinson Valley Parkway, Alabama Highway 79. And then next up is Center Point, all right? Now, January 23rd of 2012, Center Point had an EF3, a pre-dawn tornado. And this particular tornado seems to be on a similar track, maybe not the exact same track, but if you were affected by that January 23rd, 2012 tornado, you could be affected by this one if you're close to that. But again, don't get too hung up in the exact points we're calling out here. There's the northern boundary of the Polygon. This is the southern boundary right down and through here. And again, we stress this does not include the city of Birmingham. This is all north of Birmingham. So again, we've got a tornadic circulation right now that's east of US 31. This is Carson Road right here. And again, that's going to be crossing Pinson Valley Parkway pretty soon, really around Pawnee. And then that will be ultimately crossing over into the Center Point area. This is the parkway right here that's out around Center Point and Huffman that goes up to Pinson. So again, Pinson, Center Point, Huffman, everybody down to Roebuck. You need to be sheltered as well. Small room, lowest floor, near the center, and away from windows. So again, this is a tornado warning for northern and northeastern Jefferson County. We'll give you an all clear now. I-65, you're good. The danger is now east of I-65. The danger is east of US 31. There's your possible tornado right there. And again, this is the negative CC. And again, that's clearly debris that is being lofted, so we can call this a confirmed tornado. So at this point, we have a confirmed tornado that is down a little northeast of Fultondale that'll be crossing Pinson Valley Parkway, and nobody should be on Highway 79. Pinson Valley Parkway from Tarrant all the way up to Pinson. Just please do not be traveling that road right now. If you know somebody that might be traveling that road, call them and tell them to just stop and get off and go into a gas station or some type of site-built structure for safety. And again, this is Center Point, and obviously this is a very, very densely populated corridor. This is Pinson, Center Point, Huffman is down in through here. And again, that is a very strong indication of debris that is being lofted right now, and that tornado is about to cross Highway 79 and then moving right up into Center Point. The bottom line is Pinson, Center Point, Huffman, Roebuck, you need to be sheltered right now. Don't wait on this, okay? If you're watching it on TV, you can watch us on your phone. Get on the 3340 apps, the news app, the weather app, 3340's Facebook page, and you can watch this live. So again, that tornado is about to cross Highway 79 near Pawnee, and then that's going to be crossing Alabama Highway 75 in the vicinity of Center Point right here. And again, I go back to an analog to kind of help people remember what happened on the 23rd of January, 2012. We had a tornado in about this same position come right through Center Point, Clay, and Chalkville, parts of Trussville. We had some loss of life with that tornado, and I don't know the size of this, but that's a very significant debris signature here. And even a small tornado is a dangerous tornado. And again, there's your velocity display right here. But again, 31, I-65, US 31, all clear. The danger is east of there now, and that tornado is about to cross over Highway 79 between Pawnee and Pinson. and that will be crossing Highway 75, the Center Point Parkway here, coming right through the heart of Center Point. So if you live in Center Point, you need to be sheltered right now. You should have been sheltered about 15 minutes ago when the warning was first issued, and even all the way down to Huffman. Now, Roebuck is down here. Roebuck is not technically in the Polygon. If you're down toward that part of Roebuck, around W.J. Christian School, down here around First Avenue, you're okay. The concern, it's going to be basically Huffman and Center Point and Pinson. All three of these communities are in the Polygon right here, and from there, this is Trussville, this is Clay, Chalkville is right here. So Clay, Chalkville, Trussville, same thing. You need to be sheltered. Think back to the 23rd of January, that early morning pre-dawn tornado in 2012. And we had loss of life with that tornado, and the last thing we want is that again. And if you're sheltered in a good, safe place with a helmet, you're going to be fine. So this is the debris tracker, and again, that is debris that is being lofted by this tornado. So this is a confirmed tornado, and again, that's in the process of about to cross over Highway 79 basically right now. So we have a tornado crossing over Highway 79 right now at Pawnee, which is between Pinson and Tarrant, and then it's going to come right up into Center Point, the heart of Center Point. Nobody should be driving along Highway 79, that's Pinson Valley Parkway, or Roebuck Parkway, Highway 75 right here through Center Point. 79, 75, do not be driving through either one of those highways right now. And then ultimately that's going to leave Center Point and come out here toward Clay and Chalkville. Most likely the danger is going to be north of Interstate 59, much like the tornado we had back the 23rd of January on 2012. And we have a new tornado warning that's now being issued for St. Clair County for the counties that are downstream from this, and that the circulation is confirmed. We have a confirmed tornado based on the debris signature. This is your new tornado warning for St. Clair County. And again, notice the Polygon here. This does include Odenville. Odenville is here. It includes parts of Odenville, areas just north of there, but mainly US 11, Interstate 59, Springville, St. Clair Springs, Whitney Junction, Asheville. Margaret is in the Polygon as well. That's Alabama Highway 174 that goes from Springville back over to Odenville. So in addition to Center Point, Huffman, Clay, Chalkville, Trussville, you should be sheltered if you're in St. Clair County now. Argo, Springville, Whitney Junction, Asheville, St. Clair Springs, Margaret. St. Clair County, the northern part of St. Clair County under a tornado warning. Understand this does not include Pell City or that southern part. This is the northern end of St. Clair County that would include Springville and Asheville, specifically areas roughly along Interstate 59. So let's go back to our debris tracker. This is a product called Correlation Coefficient. And have you had any reports of damage back there, Taylor?
I have not had any reports of damage coming in, but just they continue, the National Weather Service continues to warn.
Let's see if your mic is on.
An extremely dangerous tornado.
I don't think we can hear you back there, so. Do we have an audio operator back there in the roll?
No, not oh,
okay. So again, here we go. So we've got a possible tornado coming through Center Point right there. My finger's on it, all right? And that's it's crossed over Highway 79. That's Pinson Valley Parkway. It's about to cross over Highway 79, Roebuck Center Point Parkway, coming right through Center Point, the heart of Center Point. From there, it's going to come out toward Chalkville, Clay, the northern part of Trussville, all right? That's your possible tornado right there. This is Center Point. That's Alabama Highway 75. That's the parkway. And again, from Center Point, it's going to come right out toward Chalkville and Clay, the far northern part of Trussville. And again, go back and think about the 23rd of January of 2012 and the path that that tornado took. That was an EF3. I don't know what rating this is. You don't rate a tornado looking at it on radar. You rate a tornado after it causes the damage. One way or the other, it's dangerous, all right? So again, that's coming right through Center Point right now, and then next is going to be Chalkville and Clay, the northern part of Trussville. Then it moves up into St. Clair County. And again, the tornado is crossing over Highway 79. It's about to cross over Highway 75 in Center Point. It's about to come out here across places like the Center Point Elementary School. The elementary school had damage back in 2012 with that pre-dawn tornado. And again, that's going to come right through the core of Center Point. Pinson is right here. And remember, tornadoes are small. They're not big. Counties are large. But that tornado is going to more likely stay south of Pinson. This is downtown Pinson. The elementary school is right here at my fingertip, Pinson Elementary School. But again, the tornado is coming through Center Point right now, and then ultimately it's come out here. Chalkville is located right here. Center Point, Chalkville, Clay. All right. In terms of Trussville, this will affect the far northern part of Trussville. And again, for those that were here in 2012, think about that path. The main downtown part of Trussville is way down here. The tornadic circulation is going to affect the far, far, far northern part of Trussville. Again, up here toward Clay and Chalkville. So Center Point, Chalkville, Clay, be sheltered now. And again, by being sheltered, we're talking a small room on the lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. Everybody has a helmet. The other things we like for people to have, hard-soled shoes. If you have to walk across a tornado debris field, your feet can be shredded. And at the same time, everybody needs a portable air horn as well, okay? All right, so again, this is your tornadic circulation, which is right here. Again, don't worry about that. This is what we're concerned about right here. Again, this is about to cross through Highway 75 right now. This is Pinson, okay? That's Highway 75 going up toward Aniana in Blount County. And again, you can see the new polygon that has been drawn in. And this newer polygon is a smaller polygon because we have a very well-defined location of this tornado. And again, this will be passing really north of Trussville. Chalkville is right here. The community of Clay is right here. So if you are anywhere near these places we're calling out, you need to be sheltered right now, okay? No cars, no mobile homes, because those are the worst possible places to be in a situation like this. And obviously, when the warning was initiated about 20 minutes ago, that's when mobile home residents should have gone to a shelter or to any gas station, anything that's open 24 hours a day. So again, we're still watching the tornadic circulation that is coming up into Chalkville right now. It's come on through Center Point.
James, some damage reports at Walker's Chapel Road exit on I-65. High tension power lines down across exit ramp. Okay.
And again, that represents a tornado. And I will say the debris we are seeing here is being, in fact, this is velocity. Let's go back to the debris. And again, once again, that debris is being lofted most likely to 10,000, 15,000 feet up. And this is parts of buildings and boards and bricks and glass and nails and structures like that. And again, we can see a lot of power flashes from people. These are transformers that are being disrupted. So again, there's your debris signature right there. It's crossed over Highway 75, and again, this is not too far from Center Point Elementary, Center Point High School, Irwin Intermediate School, and again, from here, it's going to come on out toward Clay and Chalkville. Chalkville is located right here, and so, again, this is your polygon right here. The polygon has gotten smaller in that we know exactly where the tornado is located now based on the debris we're seeing on radar. Trussville is down here, the main part of Trussville. But again, this is something you've got to take seriously. We say now this is a confirmed tornado. We didn't have this product 10 years ago. This is part of the new dual polarization products that we started using about 6, 7, 8 years ago. But this is an amazing product where we can actually see debris being lofted. The product is called correlation coefficient. You see a negative drop in that. And we're still, let's go back to the reflectivity for just a second, Taylor. And,
yeah, there's some talk in the chat about the double.
Right, you've got a lowered CC up and through here. Let's look at the velocity next. That's reflectivity, so let's go look at the velocity. And again, you can see that there's not really any strong evidence. There's evidence of rotation right down here, but not really up and through here. So again, we're going to focus on this southern part, which is right here. And again, this is the possible tornado that is in the process of coming through Center Point, then coming through the process of, or coming through Chalkville, then coming through Clay, and then moving up into St. Clair County. I want to expand it really quickly and let's show this new tornado warning for St. Clair County, just to give people a heads up that's up in St. Clair County, north and east of this. So again, I want to stress, this is your polygon for St. Clair County. This is where people should be sheltered. And really, it's specifically for people that live near US 11 or near Interstate 59, Springville to Asheville. And again, St. Clair Springs, Whitney Junction, Horsepins 40, Straight Mountains up in Blount County, so that's north of the Polygon. But notice that Odenville, Branchville, Pell City, Wattsville, not in this warning. We do not issue warnings based on counties. We issue warnings based on geometric shapes, polygons, and that tornadoes do not affect an entire county. They affect a small part of a county. We're trying to stop all this overwarning, and that's the reason that the storm-based warnings kicked in years ago. So, again, we've got a possible tornado coming out of northeastern Jefferson into St. Clair. Let's go back and take a look at the debris once again as we are in the process of watching this right there. That is the representation of the tornadic debris signature that is in the process of moving northeast. And Taylor, I'm going to let you kick in for just a second while I change computers, so I'll be right back.
Okay. So yeah, we're watching what has been a confirmed tornado across parts of Jefferson County, just moved through Center Point. This is going to continue heading northeastward, so that puts Candlewood Lakes in the path of this circulation. It's moving through the northern portion of Chalkville. And as we look at the velocity, this is going to be the different wind speeds, different directions. At this point, does look like that circulation is starting to move a little bit farther northeastward towards Eagle Ridge. And sometimes what happens is when we're looking at that correlation coefficient, that debris signature, it can follow the actual circulation just a bit. So what I want to do is hold it here on the velocity. And I'm seeing the indication, the best indication of rotation at this point, moving through Eagle Ridge, Candlewood Lakes. That's moving through the city of Clay. So County Road 30. If you live along County Road 30, you need to make sure you are in your safe place. Eventually, this will be moving towards Dogwood Estates in the coming minutes. So if any of these roads sound familiar to you, if you live along Trustful Clay Road, if you live along County Road 30, this is when you need to be in your safe space. The good news at this point, I'm seeing a little bit of an indication of broadening of that rotation, but this has been a confirmed tornado, so we need to treat it as that. And we do have some damage reports back east of I-65 from this circulation. We're starting to see more damage reports come in from some of the folks that did deal with this same circulation. So this is a storm that we need to take very seriously. I'm going to put back on that correlation coefficient. And at this point, not seeing a super strong indication of that lowering of the CC co-located with that velocity signature. So that could indicate that at least for a moment, maybe we're not seeing that debris lofted, but these storms certainly cycle. So at times they will be on the ground and you can see it lift for a little bit and then it can tighten back up. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue watching that circulation. I'm going to change it back here to the velocity so we can get a good idea of where exactly we are seeing the strongest indication of rotation at this point. We're getting some new information here. So the tornado warning continues. So we are looking at that circulation that is near the city of Clay. And at this point, a little bit harder to pick out where exactly that circulation is, but it does appear this would be the area here near Candlewood Lakes where we are seeing the strongest indications of rotation at this point. So Candlewood Lakes.
Close to the Clay Chalkville High School. So again, some of the neighborhoods up and through there, Pilgrim's Rest, Clay Chalkville High School. Just be aware that it's, again, the analog to this is the 23rd of January, 2012. And I'm not saying this is the same strength. I'm not saying it's the exact same path. It's probably not, but it's close. And if you're anywhere close to that path in 2012, you certainly need to be sheltered. And again, this is Clay Chalkville Road right up here. So again, this tornadic signature here is going to be soon moving out of Jefferson into St. Clair counties. This is the county line right here. So this will be out of Jefferson County fairly soon and into St. Clair County exclusively here in a matter of minutes. So we can give Jefferson County an all clear in probably about 10 minutes. But again, we are watching the chat sessions here and a lot of social media reports. And again, we've had some reports of trees down. At the moment, I don't have reports of structural damage, although there are reports of neighborhoods impacted on the east side of Interstate 65 in Fultondale. We also have reports of significant damage at the Walker Chapel Road exit on I-65 with high-tension power lines down across the exit ramp. So again, there's apparently been damage from this in the Fultondale area. You saw that signature coming right through Fultondale. So again, this is velocity. Let's go back to the correlation coefficient product, the debris tracker, if you will. And again, we're starting to lose that signature, which is a good thing. So again, the signature in terms of debris, and again, this is what we're watching right here. And notice how it begins to fade away as it comes up here toward you know, Clay and Clay Chalkville High School, Clay Elementary School, and that's a good thing, and hopefully that trend continues. But it could be cycling. These will be somewhat cyclic this evening. Sometimes these things get wrapped up and they occlude and they go away and then they redevelop. But this is the first warning of the night. So far, up until now, these storms have been pretty well behaved. But again, we've got a tornado warning for the northeastern corner of Jefferson County. And this is specifically for Clay and Chalkville. And Argo is right down in through here, and then it's going to cross over into St. Clair County. Springville is located right here. Old Springville Road runs down here through Clay, and that's Old Springville Road. And then this is Interstate 59 right here. That's US 11 right here. So really anybody from Clay back over to Springville, obviously you want to be sheltered. We hope that the signature continues to diminish, and it has in the last few volume scans, but at this point the tornado warning will continue. The tornado moving northeast. We should mention we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens County in West Alabama. This is for a storm on the western side of the state. And again, there's no evidence of a tornado here, but just to give you a quick note, we have the possibility of large hail falling in this storm that is coming up through Pickensville. That'll be coming out toward Carrollton and Aliceville. So again, for Pickens County, that is a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 12 midnight tonight. But again, we're going to focus on the tornado warning. So let's go back to St. Clair and northeastern Jefferson counties. And we are going to watch to see how this whole thing plays out. In fact, let's leave that wide view in for just a second, just kind of give you a reference point. Birmingham is right here. The tornado came through Fultondale. It's been coming up through Pawnee, Center Point, Clay Chalkville, and it's about to cross over into St. Clair County. Weather's just horrible in St. Clair County, really from Asheville back down here toward Margaret, Springville, St. Clair Springs. There could be some small hail falling. And again, we're watching not just that rain, but we're watching for the tornadic circulation. So let's go to the velocity product. This is going to be looking at the wind speeds relative to the radar, and we'll kind of focus in on the county line. And the signature is getting more noisy. It's more ill-defined, if you will. Let's look at the debris tracker, see if we can find the negative CC hole in this thing about right here. And at this point, the last time we looked, we didn't see much, and we don't see much right now. That's just a lot of noise. So at the moment, it looks like the tornado perhaps is lifted, but again, the warning has not been canceled. So until the warning is canceled, you stay sheltered. But we're about to give an all clear to everybody in Jefferson County in about 10 minutes. We can give an all clear to Center Point. We can give an all clear to Fultondale. We can give an all clear to Pawnee, areas back to the south and west. Tornadic circulation is moving into St. Clair County. So again, to the west, most of Jefferson County, the danger is over from this storm. But that broad circulation is about to cross into St. Clair County. This is the county line, Jefferson County here, St. Clair County here. This is Springville, US 11, Interstate 59. This is Argo. This is Margaret, which is right down through here. This is St. Clair Springs on Alabama Highway 23, which is between Springville and Asheville. You go up here to Asheville, Whitney Junction. So if you're in any of these places we talked about, you still want to be sheltered. I hope in a few minutes we can give you an all clear because, again, the signature is getting very noisy on this. It is not a well-defined tornadic signature like we had from 10:30 until about 11 o'clock tonight. I'd say for that 30-minute stretch, it was a very well-defined tornado that was lofting debris. It was down. And again, as soon as we get some damage reports, we'll be passing that along here. But it looks like there was clearly some damage along Interstate 65, Walker's Chapel Road, Fultondale, some of the neighborhoods east of Fultondale. But again, this is St. Clair County right in through here. So this is our danger. We're down to really two polygons, a very small one for the northeastern corner of Jefferson County. This includes Clay, but you can see the circulation is basically in the process of crossing over into St. Clair County. So in a matter of minutes, we can give Jefferson County an all clear. Again, Taylor's kind of suggesting where the greatest circulation is showing up now, it's around Argo. And again, it's pretty broad. This is not really a classic tornado signature at this point, but that could change in a matter of minutes. These, again, can be very cyclic. And this is producing torrents of rain in through here. There could be some flash flooding issues. There could be some small hail falling as well. But again, to get your bearing straight, that's Interstate 59 right here. This is US 231 that goes up to Aniana, down to Asheville, down to Pell City. And again, this is the rotation detector. This is one of the products coming off the radar system showing the greatest potential of rotation is sitting on the Jefferson-St. Clair County line, east of Clay, north of Argo. And again, that'll be coming out here probably a little bit north of Margaret and maybe south of Springville. So let's put the correlation coefficient back, and again, it's going to be labeled as a debris tracker. And the good news I have to report is the fact that basically that TDS has gone away for now, the tornado debris signature.
We do have a new report from Fultondale of multiple power lines down and structural damage throughout the city of Fultondale.
Right, and again, this is coming from the Weather Service in Birmingham. So again, reports of down lines and structural damage throughout Fultondale. And at the time, we had that TDS on the radar when it came through Fultondale. And I would imagine we have damage probably in Pawnee and over into Center Point. Now, we don't know that for sure, but based on the radar, it sure looks like we have, and that's a very densely populated part of the world here in Alabama, Jefferson County. So as we get additional reports from the news, we'll be passing that along. But again, our concern, it's warning you of these storms that are in progress right now. And there's just 2 severe storms in the state. This is the one with a tornado warning. We've got Pickens County with a severe thunderstorm warning. But again, we've got broad circulation. And again, that you can see that it might be trying to develop down to the south. Again, this is Margaret. Again, a lot of new neighborhoods here, beautiful school. A possible tornado is awfully close to the town of Margaret, which is here. This is in St. Clair County. But I will say now, we can give Jefferson County an all clear. So again, for everybody in Jefferson, all clear. Clay, Chalkville, Trussville, all clear. The concern now is exclusively into St. Clair County. So again, evidence of circulation right here that's going to be coming up pretty close to Margaret, south of Springville. And again, let's go back to the correlation coefficient product to see if we have any debris being lofted, and no, we don't at this point. So the best possible case here is that broad circulation is aloft, it's not down, and we're not having any debris showing up. So I would say at this point, most likely the circulation is aloft, but it really doesn't matter when it comes to what you do. You want to be sheltered in St. Clair. And again, Jefferson County, all clear. The warning for Jefferson has been canceled by the Weather Service in Birmingham. It's over. So the problem now is exclusively into St. Clair County. So again, Springville is right here, Interstate 59 coming up toward Asheville. Asheville is right here. Whitney Junction is right up here. That's US 11. We don't see debris being lofted, but let's go back to velocity. And the beauty, I mean, we could only dream of doing this years ago. It's amazing how far technology has come. But this is just really broad rotation in through here. It's just hard to find tight rotation within this storm at the moment. And if the trend continues, the Weather Service might let this warning they might cancel the warning. It's a distinct possibility. But until they do that, you stay sheltered. So again, Springville, Asheville, St. Clair Springs, Margaret, you stay sheltered until we give you an all clear, which hopefully we can do fairly soon. So I want to go back to Pickens real quick, Taylor. I want to go to West Alabama. This is St. Clair County. You stay sheltered. We're going to come right back to this in just a second. In Pickens County, there's no tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that is for this thunderstorm cluster that could produce damaging straight-line winds and large hail. This is about to come through Carrollton. Carrollton right here, that's the county seat of Pickens County. That's Highway 17 coming south out of Reform. Gordo is right here, and this is your Polygon. And again, notice it is a yellow polygon, not a red polygon. That means this is a severe thunderstorm warning until midnight. So again, potential for strong straight-line winds. And of course, if that continues, that'll wind up in Tuscaloosa County. And clearly up here in the northwestern part of the county, you might see some small hail as well up here above Brownville, back up toward the Fayette County line in Newtonville. So let's go back to St. Clair County. It is now 11:13. I'm James Spann with Taylor Sarallo working a severe weather situation tonight. And this warning for Jefferson has been canceled. So Jefferson County, all clear. St. Clair County, this is the concern, and again, you can see the polygon goes as far northeast as Asheville, Whitney Junction, Horsepins 40, and Chandler Mountain. We've got very broad circulation down and through here. This is not tight like you'd expect to see when there's a tornado down. But still, this could change. We're watching to see if this wants to cycle back up, and I think that's the right thing to do. Instead of canceling the warning, let's see if it cycles back up. But at the moment, that's not a classic tornado signature here. There could be some strong straight line winds and certainly tremendous amounts of rain. We'll check the correlation coefficient for debris being lofted, and it's not there. There's no evidence of that. So we have no debris being lofted. There's no evidence of a tornado. Let's go back to the reflectivity. And obviously, it's just pouring rain in through here, just absolutely pouring rain in through this part of St. Clair County. But still, if you're in this polygon, you respect the polygon and stay sheltered. And again, we advise no mobile homes, no cars, which means we certainly don't want people driving along Interstate 59. This is the new adjusted polygon, and the Weather Service keeps adjusting these to fit where they believe the greatest chance of rotation will be. And again, you can see that it's taken downtown Springville out of this, and the concern is really south of Springville. That's Highway 174 right here, runs from Odenville back up to Springville. And again, I just can't even pick out a spot to show you here. There's not a tornadic signature at the moment. We'll see if one redevelops, but still stay sheltered. Folks with a Springville mailing address are probably just south of downtown Springville down here. Same thing for Margaret, although most likely the greatest danger is east of Margaret at this point. And certainly those of you in Asheville and Shoal Creek Valley, which is located right down through here. This is US 231 that goes down to Wattsville and Pell City. This is 411 that goes down to Odenville and Branchville. So again, at the moment, here at 11:15, 11:16 now, we have very broad rotation over St. Clair County, but we don't have a tornado signature to show you. The Weather Service is going to maintain that tornado warning for a little bit longer to see if a tornado circulation redevelops, which might happen. This storm apparently has caused significant damage in parts of northern Jefferson County, specifically around Fultondale. Beyond that, I don't know what's happened in Center Point or Huffman or Clair or Chalkville. I don't have that information at this point. And again, our folks in the news department are working to get information. Again, reports from Fultondale, we have damage around Walker Chapel Road, Indian Valley Road, Carson Road, unknown injuries at this point. That's from the police chief and Carol Robinson with AL.com. Who's reporting tonight. So again, there has been significant damage with this storm north of Birmingham and northern Jefferson. But again, there is no tornado signature in through here at this point. That is just a lot of rain. It's windy. We have thunder. We have lightning. But no tornadic signature, no debris being lofted at this point for St. Clair County. The air is a little more stable over here. We had kind of a wedge today affecting places like Gadsden. Gadsden stayed in the 50s much of the day, while parts of West Alabama flirted with 80 today. So as this continues pushing northeast, it will encounter a more stable air mass, and most likely the odds of this dropping another tornado are decreasing with time, and especially as the storm moves on to the east. And again, Calhoun County is not in the tornado watch because conditions really don't favor tornadoes there. But still, we're going to keep an eye on this. And this is the reason we're here on TV at 11:17 is for this one tornado warning that is currently in effect for St. Clair County, the northern part, okay? Listen, if you're in Pell City, this has nothing to do with you. You're not even close to this. You might have thunder and lightning and wind and rain, but in terms of a tornado threat, no. Again, Pell City is way down here. This is US 231 going south. Odenville and Branchville, Moody, you're not in this, okay? This is all north of 411 up until the time it gets to about Asheville. Asheville High School sits right here. The St. Clair County Courthouse. They have two courthouses in St. Clair County, one in Asheville, one in Pell City. The northern courthouse in Asheville, right in the middle of downtown here. This is 411 coming up toward Gadsden. And again, that's 231 coming up toward Whitney Junction, which is right here. And then Horsepins 40 is up on the mountains. So, Taylor, any additional reports from your end in terms of damage that you're seeing?
Not that I'm seeing so far, but I feel that we will start to get some more coming in, especially just based on that debris signature that we saw.
Yeah, let me just say I got a good report. Family in Pilgrim's Rest in Clay, and they're safe. They were not safe in 2012. They were hit. That's great news. I've not heard specifically of reports of damage from Chalkville, Clay, Argo, that far northeastern end of Jefferson County. The damage reports all coming out of Fultondale. And that thing looked nasty. We saw the debris being lofted, and it came from Fultondale over toward Pawnee, the Pinson Valley Parkway, and then into Center Point. But we've heard of no specific damage over there at this point. So again, if you're just joining us here, it's 11:20. I'm James Spann with Taylor Sarallo, and many of you are watching on your phone. However you're watching, we're glad you're here. And again, remember, when we're on television, all of our energy is focused right here. So we thank you for joining us and for watching this tonight. Want to go back to a big map with a tornado watch. I want to show a big picture. A lot of people are asking, Taylor, can I go to bed now? Is the severe weather threat over? So I want to show you who is out of the severe weather risk. Okay, we're going to pop the tornado watch on the display here. And there's your cold front. You can pick it out right there. But a number of counties have been cleared from the tornado watch. And you can see that we have Lamar, Marion, Winston, Franklin, Lawrence, Colbert, Lauderdale, Morgan, Limestone. The severe weather risk has ended for you. The risk continues in the counties here in yellow, the tornado watch in effect until 1 a.m. The surface cold front is located right here. These storms are on the front, and you can see we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Pickens County for the possibility of damaging straight line winds and maybe some hail with that storm that is moving into Tuscaloosa. But other than that, there are no warnings on the western side of the state. The reason we are on TV, it's this thing right here. This storm came across northern Jefferson. The warning was issued at about 10:35 tonight. And right as the newscast was ending, so that's when the warning was posted by the Weather Service in Birmingham. And soon after that, we saw the debris being lofted. We've had damage in Fultondale, in areas just north of downtown Birmingham. But again, that thunderstorm cluster is in St. Clair County. This is a flood advisory that's being posted by the Weather Service. The green polygon, that's not a flash flood warning, but a flood advisory for the possibility of flooding with the tremendous rain rates we're seeing in here. But let's go back into St. Clair County. Taylor, we're going to focus in on that storm. That's the only tornado warning we currently have in the state at this point. And again, we have reports now from Center Point Fire of structure damage in the 500 block of Sun Hill Road. So this is the first reports of damage I've seen from Center Point. This is coming from Center Point Fire.
And apparently we also just had a caller to our newsroom reporting structure damage and trees down in Northeast Center Point as well. So we're starting to get those reports in.
Right, and that's it. It takes a while for us to get these reports because often cell service goes down and we just can't get them. But we know there's been damage in Fultondale. Now we know there's been damage in Center Point. And again, I've not seen any damage in Chalkville and Clay. The signature was not as fierce in Chalkville, Clay, northern Trussville as it was coming through Fultondale and Center Point in this case. But again, this is the current situation for St. Clair County. This is your tornado warning. The green polygon, that is an aerial flood advisory, but we're going to focus on this polygon right in through here. So let's go back to our velocity display and see what this looks like. And again, there's just not a tornado signature right here. Strong winds, yes. Straight line winds, a definite possibility here. But again, there's just nothing to show you in terms of a tornado signature. Let's look just for the fun of it at the correlation coefficient, debris tracker, and that's going to show nothing. So debris is not being lofted. We see no evidence of a tornado. And again, the Weather Service will make an option on whether to expire this early or not. The tornado warning for St. Clair is scheduled to expire anyway in 7 minutes. And they might just let it go based on the fact that this storm has had a history of producing very significant damage. So one way or the other, this thing will expire at 11:30. I doubt that they extend it because there's no reason to do that. There's nothing happening right now. And again, the good news is this moves more to the east. Again, this is Etowah County. This is Calhoun County down here. The air is much more stable in through here. It was cooler today with a wedge, cold air damming. And that means most likely we're not going to have an issue with a major issue with severe weather up and through here. So let's go back to reflectivity. This is the debris tracker. That's the reflectivity. It's just pouring. And let's put lightning just for the fun of it on here. I know there's so much it's going to be hard to see what's underneath that. This is real-time lightning, and then you can see just almost constant lightning output here. This is Gadsden all the way down Interstate 59 to Asheville, down Interstate 59 to Springville, Odenville. You've got heavy rain falling. And understand, heavy rain falling doesn't mean there's a tornado. People say, well, it's horrible weather here. Well, we're focusing in on places where there's a tornado, something that can kill you. We have to focus in on that. You know, you're not going to melt in the rain here, although flash flooding could be a serious issue if you have a long duration rain event like this, but we think we won't have major flooding here. So let's go back to our velocity display, and really in a case like this, velocity is going to tell the story. We've got a report that a hotel in Fultondale has been evacuated because of a gas leak. And again, that's the kind of stuff that's going on in Fultondale. And again, as soon as we can get video back safely from a crew that's up there. And I did check our Fultondale Skycam earlier, Taylor. That is down, so we don't have that at our fingertips here. But again, this is your Polygon, and there's no tornado here. And again, this is not a tornado signature down here, so this warning will expire in less than 5 minutes unless something dramatic happens here.
In our Skywatcher network, it sounds like there's a lot of damage in Fultondale.
Okay.
A lot of damage in Fultondale.
Yeah, John Talbot is probably one of the best scanner guys in the world here. I see Brian Falls is on here. Yeah, let me just kind of go through what John is saying. Center Point Fire reporting heavy damage off Sun Hill Road and Carson Road. They're doing a search and rescue now. We have to be really careful here. There's a lot of reports, and we're trying to give you credible reports. We have reports of collapsed houses on Newcastle Road, reports of a person trapped in a car. State troopers are staging with Fultondale police off Walker's Chapel to assist. Other law enforcement agencies are coming in to assist as well. Tarrant and North Smithfield Fire on the way to assist Fultondale. Again, we're getting reports of multiple entrapments on Newcastle Road. So again, we've clearly had major damage in Fultondale. Heavy structural damage to several homes. We've got a report of a family trapped in a house because of a tree down. And I will say, Taylor, it sounds like we do have some injuries here. The extent of those beyond that, we just don't know at this point. And so again, it's 11:27, and we're kind of focusing on damage now. There's no tornado going on here. This warning is going to expire in less than 3 minutes. And the odds of additional warnings, I'd say, are fairly small. And there's a lot of images. We have to be really careful in what we show here. Just to be sure that we don't want to show something that's not there. A lot of people, you know, send things that just aren't true. But I tell you what I want to do, we're going to show some of this. And again, Taylor, I'm going to let you pick it up here for just a second while I...
Okay, and I'm going to take a look at the big picture again here, just so for folks who are tuning in, maybe you're hearing thunder and you're wondering what's going on. So we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Pickens County. So I'm going to zoom you down and show you where that is, because we do not believe that there is a tornado associated with that tornado warning for St. Clair at this time. We do have heavy rain, probably some gusty winds going on across parts of Pickens County near Gordo. But I want to take us a little bit farther northward, because parts of northern Tuscaloosa County seeing some very heavy rain at this point. where you see that purple color there, that's indicating some very heavy rain, possibly some small hail with that as well. No severe thunderstorm warning for this storm at this point, but if you live in Samantha or Gorgas, you are definitely hearing lots of thunder. You can see lots of lightning with that storm as well. Heavy rain extends north and east from that across parts of Walker County, just south of Jasper along I-22. So near Parrish, Dora, Sipsey, we do have heavy rain, lots of lightning, and then that thunderstorm extends into southern Coleman County as well. So at this point, we do have 2 warnings on the board. Well, now just 1. So that warning for Pickens County was allowed to be expired because the storm in that area looked like it was weakening. We are expecting the tornado warning that you see flashing there for St. Clair County to expire in about 30 seconds, and we do not see a circulation indicating a tornado on the ground with that. So at this point, no warnings across our state, but we are watching some strong thunderstorms, and the strongest thunderstorm right now does appear to be, or at least the strongest part of this thunderstorm does appear to be in northern Tuscaloosa County. So that's north of the city of Tuscaloosa, just south of Barry in Fayette County, near Wyndham Springs. I don't think our Wyndham Springs camera is working right now, but definitely a lot of lightning going on in northern Tuscaloosa County. Some small hail possible, but at this point, yes, this is a strong thunderstorm. It's likely loud, but it is not severe limits at this point. So we're going to continue monitoring that. And you can see a lot of that lightning indicating, yes, probably some small hail. I actually want to put on our hail product here. And it is indicating that some hail is possibly falling in between Samantha and Wyndham Springs at this point, but not likely large enough to prompt a severe warning at this point. So I do want to zoom us back out, and we will just kind of go up and down that line, and we'll talk about where we do have thunderstorms happening at this point. You do see another polygon across the border in Mississippi. That's going to be south of Philadelphia. A lot of lightning with that thunderstorm. So that's going to be the next storm that we're probably watching as it moves in from Mississippi. But at this point, it is not into Alabama yet, and we will talk about it more when it does get into Alabama. Right now, we do have some rain falling in Aliceville, some strong thunderstorm activity in northern Tuscaloosa County, but I want to remind you we have no warnings in our state at this point. Moving into Walker County, we have widespread rain, lots of thunder, and then the good news is at this point we have seen things quiet down a bit. Northern Jefferson County, where there's likely cleanup going on. We've had those reports of lots of damage coming from Fultondale with that likely tornado that we just saw touch down within the last hour or so. So a little bit of break in the rain there for some of the cleanup effort, but this next round of rain will be moving into northern Jefferson County here pretty soon. So it's not going to be a long-lived break, but right now, not so much in the way of rainfall. Still raining very, very hard over St. Clair County, so very heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning, so you're hearing a lot of thunder, likely some gusty winds, but this storm as well is not at severe limits at this point. In Gadsden, we do have a lot of lightning, so let me see here if our Gadsden camera is working and we can show that.
The damage reports while we're talking here. And again, let's be really careful about, what we're seeing. A lot of what you see on social media is not from tonight. There's a lot of images floating around, and a lot of this stuff is just not happening tonight. And again, people mean well by sharing it, but we have to be really careful and understand some of what you see is not really happening. Some is. There's been major damage in Fultondale, I'll tell you that. And again, we have reports of people that have been injured, people that have been trapped in homes because of trees. We have reports of roofs off homes. We have reports of collapsed houses. There is major damage in the community of Fultondale. This is just north of downtown Birmingham. And again, for those that are listening over in the news department, as soon as you guys can get a live shot up there, please let me know and we'll take that. I would much rather take a live shot from our staff instead of a lot of these questionable images that we're seeing. Some of it might be legit, a lot of it is not. But again, at this point, it's 11:33, and let's make it perfectly clear, we have no warnings in effect now, no tornado warnings in effect, and we have no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. The bottom line is there are no warnings. Let's take the lightning data off because there's so much lightning. We're just going to show the radar. And again, in St. Clair County, we'll give you an all clear. All clear. Asheville, Springville, St. Clair Springs, Whitney Junction, you're good. And again, the rotation went away about 15 minutes ago. We've got heavy rain, thunder, lightning, gusty winds in through here. But again, for the moment, everything you see across the northern part of the state is under severe limits. So again, we have the biggest damage is concentrated around parts of Fultondale and Center Point. There's been structural damage, and apparently we've had injuries. Beyond that, I can't tell you more than that. And we're not in the business of reporting rumors here. Everything you see on the tweeter and the face bag is not necessarily all true. And you've got to be somewhat use discretion when it comes to reporting things here on television, and that's what we try and do. The truth is, Traylor and I, we're not trained in journalism, but we have to learn it, and you learn real quick that a lot of what you see is just not true. So again, we're going to report facts as we go through here and begin to see reports of damage coming in from tonight. So Taylor, I'll turn it back over to you and let you pick it up for a few minutes, and I'll be right back with more damage reports.
Okay. I'm going to, once again, for those of you who are tuning in, we came on the air over an hour ago with a tornado warning in northern Jefferson County, and so you hear us talking about those damage reports. And it does seem like at this point the worst of the damage is coming from Fultondale, but we're getting more and more reports. And I kind of want to take you on a tour of what's going on out there right now. You might be tuning in because it's raining really hard where you live, or you're hearing the thunder. At this point, we have no warnings across our state. We had a few warnings earlier, but now those have all been allowed to expire. So this is a loop over the last hour. I'm going to stop it here, and we're just going to kind of go along that line and look at what's going on right now. At this point, we do not have any thunderstorms that are severe of severe limit. So yes, it might be loud, certainly probably windy, heavy rain, but nothing at this point that we are concerned with in terms of severe weather. So south of Pickensville, we do have heavy rain falling near Aliceville. That stretches just south of Gordo into northwestern Tuscaloosa County. So if you live north of Coker, if you live in Buell, if you live in Brownville, we are seeing heavy rain there, likely lots of lightning as well. And then we do have indication of potentially some small hail falling through locations like Windham Springs, through Wiley, so along 69 there. And this, yes, is likely producing some gusty winds as well, but not severe limits. So we do not have a severe thunderstorm warning in Tuscaloosa County. And at this point, we aren't really seeing any indications of rotation. At this point, this looks like it is likely just some gusty winds and some hail. Moving a little bit farther northward, we do have heavy rain near Oakman, Cordova, Jasper, Good Springs. So very heavy rain there, likely some thunder, but nothing of severe limits at this point. And then stretching up into Coleman County along I-65, south of Dodge City, we have some heavy rain. And then I wanted to take you back to that storm with the history of producing a tornado. So at this point, we're still seeing heavy rain near Asheville, Ragland. That's moving over towards Ohatchee. That's south of Gadsden. And within the last few minutes here, I want to put that lightning data back on. We have seen quite a bit of lightning with these storms, but nothing severe at this time. That circulation has weakened. And as James has mentioned, we're dealing with cooler air, more stable air in northeastern Alabama. So we're not expecting a re-intensification as those storms do continue on an eastward track. So at this point, there is nothing severe in our state. I do want to take you across the border, though. There's another storm that we're keeping a close eye on. You see a lot of lightning there just south of Philadelphia in Mississippi. And so that's going to be our next storm that we're going to watch carefully. At this point, just a severe thunderstorm warning with that, but that will be crossing over into Sumter County within the next hour or so. And this entire line will keep moving southward through the overnight hours and into early tomorrow morning. And as that happens, the threat of severe weather is going to diminish. So as this front continues to move southward, you're going to start to see more and more counties whittled away from that tornado watch. We haven't showed that in a while, so I am going to put that back on here. Many counties still included in that tornado watch, which does last through 1 a.m. So I want to put that on here for us, and we can get an idea, because there are some counties in northwest Alabama that have been allowed to be dropped from that. So as we go toward the radar, reflectivity, you see quite a few of our counties here included in that. So basically, if you've seen the thunderstorms come through your area so far, then you are done. This line that we're dealing with right now is going to be the main line along that leading edge of the cold front, which is going to continue slowly moving southward overnight and into early tomorrow morning. We did have...
Let me interrupt, Taylor. I'm sorry. We've got a lot of major damage, and I want to focus on that. We don't have any warnings right now, so let me just... in this business, we have to kind of have a balance between dangerous weather and what's happened. All these storms are below severe limits, so I just want to mention some reports from the Fultondale fire chief. He says, we've been hit bad, multiple injuries, multiple houses, trees down everywhere, people are trapped. So again, this is from the Fultondale fire chief coming through our news department. We've been hit bad, multiple injuries, multiple houses, trees, and people trapped. And again, as soon as we get the live views up from the newsroom or from Fultondale, please let me know. We're going to take that live, and they should be up there right now. And so again, and again, I do believe that we've been seeing this, these images of the Hampton Inn up there near the Lowe's, and I believe that those images are legitimate. There are a lot of rescue vehicles headed toward that Hampton Inn off I-65. Vestavia is on the way now into Fultondale with heavy rescue equipment and technical assistance. So again, there's obviously a lot of issues here tonight in Fultondale in terms of damage. And again, we're going to stay here with you. We're not going anywhere, and we are efforting images here in just a second. Here's a report of insulation falling in Pinson from Fultondale, most likely. This is debris that was being lofted from Fultondale. The debris, this was insulation landing in Pinson, which is an example of what we have seen going on here tonight. And again, for those that have not seen it, I'll show this image here in just a second. So again, the bottom line is we've had major damage in Fultondale. That is the hardest hit area. We've also had reports of other significant damage. Can you take Wexo 5? I don't know, JD, thank you. Again, this is the image that a lot of people are seeing on social media tonight. We now have reason to believe that that is legitimate. That is the Hampton Inn in Fultondale. That's on Walker's Chapel Road up there by the Lowe's and the Chick-fil-A and the Whataburger. And beyond that, I don't know if we have any injuries in that structure. But again, when these images first came out, we just had to vet some of this and just be sure that, that it's legitimate. We have reason to believe that it is. There's just a lot of damage up and through there. So again, the greatest concern here in terms of damage tonight, it's coming from Fultondale, which is north of downtown Birmingham, over into the community of Pawnee, and then over into the city of Center Point. In that zone, that's where we had constant debris being lofted on radar tonight. And again, do we have a producer back in the back by any chance? Anybody in my ear? We do not at this point. All right, so, okay. And again, if you could just help guide me, because this is rapidly shifting into a situation where we're going from weather into news, and we're going to need as much support from the news department as we can. So again, this is the big picture with the radar tonight. It might be thundering and lightning. You've got windy conditions where you are, but there's no risk of a tornado at this moment. There are no tornado warnings. There's a tornado watch for the counties in yellow until 1 a.m. That's for about the next hour and 15 minutes. But again, that line of storms now through parts of Pickens, Tuscaloosa, Walker, Blount, St. Clair, Calhoun, Etowah counties. Tremendous amounts of rain, thunder, lightning, and gusty winds. But all throughout this, we have no evidence of a tornado at this point, and we have no evidence of damaging straight line winds or large hail. That's the reason there are no warnings. Again, a lot of the really significant damage is right around Walker Chapel Road. Oddly enough, we have a sky cam there, but unfortunately it's down. Damage reported to the Hampton Inn. You saw that image. Damage reported there to Lowe's. and to some of the other businesses. We have many reports of homes that have been damaged where there is actually some entrapment. And again, to give you the quote from the Fultondale fire chief, and this is the best way to tell you what he told us: we've been hit bad, there are multiple injuries, multiple houses have been damaged or destroyed, we have trees down everywhere and people trapped. So again, that's the situation in Fultondale, and again, that tornado came through Fultondale and then went out around Pawnee on Highway 79, the Pinson Valley Parkway, then crossed over into Center Point. And we've had some reports of damage in Center Point as well.
I can actually take us back if we want to follow that debris signature.
And again, let's go back to that Hampton Inn picture on WEX 05 if we can real quick. Again, that is what you have been seeing, and that is confirmed, that the roof has been blown off the structure, and there's obviously very significant damage at the Hampton Inn right there at Walker's Chapel Road in Fultondale. And again, you can see that there is major damage there, and this is just an example of some of the other things that are happening in Fultondale tonight. We've had reports another hotel in Fultondale evacuated because of a gas leak. Center Point Fire reporting structure damage on Sun Hill Road, and a lot of other damage reports coming in as well. Let's just leave that picture up for just a second. Yeah, we should have a live shot coming up here fairly soon from this. But again, the good news at this point, we don't have any severe weather in progress now. And for those that are watching in other parts of the country, Fultondale from the business district in downtown Birmingham is only about maybe 5 miles north of say, the BJCC. Legacy Arena, the Protective Life Stadium, Uptown, just 5 miles north of there. That's how close it is to downtown Birmingham. The tornado crossed over I-65. I've heard of no specific injuries on the highway. But again, we have many folks that are struggling right now. And again, we're going to stay with this, and as soon as we get the live shots up, we're going to take those. And if anybody in the back can assist me and let me know as soon as that's going to happen, that would be great. So Taylor, you take it for just a second.
Okay, and I was just going to go back for 1 minute here and show you what we were looking at. We keep talking about this debris signature. So you can see this was at 10:40 p.m. And at this point, we did not have a debris signature. But then you're going to start to see that blue show up just north of Fultondale, and that's where we did have that indication of ongoing tornado damage occurring. Lasted through about Center Point, and then that's when we lost that debris signature. At this point, we do not have any warnings or any tornado warnings, any severe thunderstorm warnings in our state. We do still have that tornado watch that lasts through 1 a.m. But at this point, we're just talking about heavy rain. We've got lots of lightning out there, thunder, likely some gusty winds at times, but nothing that is severe. So we're going to continue to monitor these storms as we move through the rest of the evening, because we do still have that severe threat through about 1 a.m. But at this point, there is nothing that is severe. So I do want to take you along that line. We will just kind of get an idea of where some of the heaviest rain is falling right now. And we are looking at some heavy rain about to move into the northern parts of downtown Tuscaloosa. So near Coker, we do have that heavy rain at this point, some gusty winds, and we're watching this line very carefully, because when we start to see some of those kinks in the line, that's where we could indicate the possibility of some rotation. At this point, I want to put on the velocity, not showing anything at this point too concerning, but we're going to continue to watch this line carefully, because it doesn't take much for us to see sometimes with these broken lines the possibility of some spin-up tornadoes. That's why we have that tornado watch through 1 a.m. At this point, we're not seeing the indication of that. Heavy rain falling over Aliceville. The heavy rain stretches through Tuscaloosa County towards Walker County there, near Dora, Sipsey Parish. We have that heavy rain.
I want to go to one picture real quick on WEX 05. I didn't mean to interrupt, Taylor. We're just going to try and show these. This is the Outback Steakhouse in Fultondale. And again, you can see there's major damage there. And again, this is all around Walker Chapel Road, which is the Interstate 65 exit right there. There's a Best Buy, there's a Chick-fil-A Lowe's, the Hampton Inn. You saw the damage at the Hampton. So I just wanted to show that, Taylor. That is damage at the Outback Steakhouse in Fultondale. Back over to you.
Okay, and at this point we do have kind of a break in the rain over Fultondale, but this line of rain is going to continue moving southward, so I'd say within the next half hour or so that rain's going to pick back up. Nothing severe at this point, but we do have that rain moving back into Fultondale, so that is something to keep in mind as those cleanup efforts are going on here. We've got rain falling over Warrior near Hayden, so Blount County and Aniana. We've got some rain falling, some lightning as well, but nothing severe. And then we do have a mass of very heavy rain moving through parts of Calhoun County. This is going to be just north of Jacksonville, stretching back towards Ohatchee and into Ragland and St. Clair County. The heaviest rain right now south of the city of Gadsden. And at this point, as I keep saying, we don't have any ongoing warnings. We do have that tornado watch, so I want to show you where that is. So if you were still included in this watch, you want to make sure you are paying attention to the weather over the next couple of hours. Make sure you've got a way to get those warnings, as we do see that risk of a few strong to severe storms ongoing through about 1 a.m. And I do expect that the National Weather Service here will begin to drop some more counties from this watch as we see that line move farther southward. You can tell that they've already dropped Lamar, Marion, and Winston counties from this tornado watch, and other counties across northwest and north Alabama. So that trend will continue through the rest of the night. But at this point, there is still a threat for some severe weather in the next few hours as this line keeps moving southward. Outside of that watch, we do have some rain falling across parts of Coosa County, Tallapoosa County, Clay County. So you're hearing some rain at this point, but you are not included in that tornado watch. And at this point, you're just dealing with standard showers. The heavier thunderstorms stretch from Pickens County through Tuscaloosa County into Walker County, Blount County, Etowah, Calhoun, and starting to move into Cherokee County as well. I want to point out that there is a severe thunderstorm warning to our west, south of Philadelphia, really in between Philadelphia and Meridian in Mississippi. So this stronger thunderstorm will continue moving towards Sumter County here, and eventually, if it holds together, would move into Greene County, Hale County, potentially Tuscaloosa County. So we'll keep an eye on that. At this point, it's a severe thunderstorm. There's not a tornado warning associated with that, but that would be our next strong storm that could cross over the border into our state here pretty soon. So let's take a look at, I'm going to actually take us to the hour by hour here if I can, and kind of show you what you can expect through the rest of the evening. So right now you're taking a live look from our Children's of Alabama camera. And at this point, things are pretty quiet in downtown Birmingham, seeing a break from that rain. But as we look towards that hour by hour, there it is. This is what we're going to continue to see. The trend is going to be that front moves slowly across the state, and we're going to see that band of thunderstorms slowly move southeastward. So by about 3 a.m., that line is south of the city of Birmingham, stretching through Talladega County, Chilton County, Perry County, and this line will eventually be weakening in the early morning hours as it continues to move southeastward. And then tomorrow will begin cloudy and mild with temperatures likely still in the 60s. And then our severe threat will be done early tomorrow morning. By the time you're headed out to work or school, our severe threat is over. Really, our main concern is the next few hours here with that tornado watch lasting through about 1 a.m. Here is a look at, well, now we've updated that severe storm outlook, but this is a look at the timing. So if you live along the 5920 corridor, we are looking at anywhere from now through 3 a.m. for that potential of a strong to severe storm. And then south and east of that, anywhere from midnight through 5 a.m. We'll keep a close eye on it, but we do expect those storms to be weakening as they keep moving south and east. Here's the latest on that tornado watch. So all the counties there in yellow are where we have that watch. That does last through 1 a.m. And you can tell that many counties across northwest and north Alabama have been dropped from that watch. As that main line comes through, your threat for severe weather will be going away. So here is the latest on the radar. I actually want to, we're on composite radar here. I want to go to reflectivity. There we go. And you can see, yes, we've got some reds out there. We've got quite a bit of heavy rain. And as I put the lightning on, a lot of lightning with these thunderstorms. So it's likely very loud. You're hearing a lot of thunder. But at this point, We do not have any warnings. We've got likely some gusty winds moving through Aliceville with the purples there. That could indicate some very small hail as well. And then this line's going to extend into Tuscaloosa County, into Coker, just north of downtown Tuscaloosa, some heavy rain. So if you are in the city of Tuscaloosa, you're likely seeing some lightning in the distance. And this line's going to slowly move southward. At this point, we're just looking at some heavy rain and some thunder. There's not a warning with this. Moving a little bit farther northward, we do have indication of some heavier rain falling into portions of Walker County and into West Jefferson County. You can see here that's going to be moving towards Oak Grove. It's going to be moving towards Toadvine Alliance here pretty soon. And it's in the city of West Jefferson at this point, heavy rain. And this keeps moving south and east. So eventually this batch here of heavy rain will move towards Fultondale, which is where we have seen a lot of those reports of damage from that tornado that we were tracking earlier in the evening. We've got rain falling over Warrior, over Kimberly, over Sayre. As we look a little bit farther northward, Blount County, much of Blount County dealing with rain at this point. If you live in Locust Fork, you're hearing some thunder, but nothing severe. Oneonta, you've got some rain as well. Moving towards St. Clair County, Asheville, you're seeing that rain. Steele, you've got heavy rain with some thunder. Walnut Grove, in Etowah County, we've got some thunder there as well. And then really a big batch of heavy rain stretching from Ohatchee up towards portions of Cherokee County. So if you live near Center, you've got that heavy rain as well. And then a lot of lightning near Hoax Bluff. But at this point, the storms are well behaved, and we are very thankful for that these storms at this point are not severe. We do hope this trend continues through the rest of the evening, but we do have, of course, that tornado watch, which lasts through 1 a.m. for the possibility that we do have another warning or two, either a severe thunderstorm warning. Can't rule out the possibility of a tornado warning with that tornado watch lasting through 1 a.m.
Taylor, it's 11:55. Let me pick it up here for just a second. Again, we are in a situation where we have no warnings in effect now. No warnings. We've got thunder, lightning, gusty winds, but storms are under classic severe limits. That is, we don't have large hail, we don't have damaging wind. There is a tornado watch until 1 a.m. for the counties in yellow. The concern, and the reason we're here, is for the damage that has occurred north of Birmingham tonight. Much of Fultondale with serious damage and injuries. We've had major damage in parts of Center Point tonight. I've not heard of that much damage from areas north and east of there. Clay, Chalkville, Argo, into St. Clair County. In fact, I've heard no damage at all in St. Clair County. So apparently the tornado lifted at some point around Center Point, or between Center Point maybe and Chalkville. And to our knowledge, there was no damage north and east of there. And it's obviously a very chaotic scene, and a lot of people are asking questions, and I wish I could give you answers, and quite frankly, nobody has the answers at this point. And again, I will tell you that homes have collapsed and people are trapped as we speak, and we have injuries. Could there be a fatality or two? Yes. I don't have specifics on that. I've got unconfirmed reports, but again, we're not in the business of passing along unconfirmed reports. We just have to tell you what we know that is valid. So again, in just a moment, we're going to be going live up to the northern part of the Birmingham Metro, Fultondale specifically, to take a live view of what's happened up there. You've seen some of the images that we've shown you tonight. And again, a lot of homes are damaged, and again, there's clearly been reports of damage. Let me just say this. The Fultondale Fire Chief says, stay out. Everybody out of Fultondale at this time. If you got no business there, don't be some bonehead. Drive in there to get your YouTube views or whatever. Please, let these first responders do what they're doing. They're doing a search and rescue right now. This is not a time to be making TikTok or YouTube videos. Just stay out. This is from the Fultondale Fire Chief. This is not me talking here. He wants everybody to stay out of Fultondale. If you've got no business up in Fultondale, you need to get out of there. And that is from the Fultondale Fire Chief, and I will tell you, okay, let's take it. All right, let's go live to Fultondale right now. So again, this is the Hampton Inn, and what's amazing at this particular point, Within that structure, I've heard of no injuries. Again, you are looking live at the Hampton Inn. This is a hotel that is at Walker Chapel Road near I-65. It's real close to the Lowe's, real close to the Whataburger, the Chick-fil-A. And again, this is what this tornado has done. We don't know the occupancy at this particular Hampton, how many people were staying there tonight. Again, we just don't know more. There's a lot of information we don't have at this point, but again, I have heard no reports of anybody being injured at that particular hotel. Again, you can hear in the background various first responders coming into this. But again, and I was probably too bold, but sometimes you just got to be bold. Please don't go up there, just out of respect for humanity, and let these folks do their job. Understand, we've got reports of people that are, there's entrapment right now. We have injuries. And what first responders are doing, they're basically doing triage, trying to find out, who's hurt the most, getting them to hospitals, transporting them. They do an unbelievably good job. Again, you can see some of the damage, obviously, with those water breaks within the building, with the water streaming down through here. This is going to be a significant tornado. We saw debris being lofted at one point to 15,000 feet from this storm. The tornado debris signature really started to flare about the time it hit this intersection, Walker Chapel Road, Interstate 65. Again, this is going to be very significant. What's the EF number? I don't know now. Quite frankly, that's not important. We'll find out tomorrow. The Weather Service will get a survey team in there tomorrow and do damage assessment, and we'll find out the rating of this tornado. But again, understand, it's not just this spot. That's the one thing I want to stress here. It's not just this particular spot. We have damage in many other parts of Fultondale. We have damage in parts of Center Point. And there's probably some damage in between these places that we don't even know about at this point. And again, I will tell you from looking back at the, and let me just say this, everybody at the Hampton has been accounted for. We're seeing reports of that. And so at this point, we're not aware of anybody injured there. But again, one of the big problems out on Newcastle Road, where we got a house collapse, multiple houses have been collapsed. And you've got some people that are trapped. Some of the reports are saying some of those that are trapped, they're vocal, but they have no way of getting them out. Oftentimes in an entrapment situation, you have to have heavy equipment to get the structures literally off people or get it where they can get out.
I did see reports where they're bringing in bobcats from other...
Right, they're bringing in that heavy equipment, which they desperately need. And again, I will tell you that I have seen multiple credible reports of at least one fatality tonight from this tornado. But again, some of the heaviest damage is on Newcastle Road, which is in the eastern part of Fultondale. Tarrant police trying to work their way in on North Pine Hill Road into Fultondale to get the people, and people are just crying for help. It is a very chaotic situation. This is a situation where a very significant tornado has come through the communities of Fultondale and Center Point north of Birmingham. The tornado warning was issued at right at 10:35. We were about to go off our 10 o'clock newscast, and at that very moment the warning was issued, and we stayed with it, and we watched that debris being lofted. And at night, it's so hard. We've learned through social science studies that really for people sometimes to take action, to believe us, they have to see video of a tornado. And quite frankly, with these rain-wrapped tornadoes at night, there is absolutely no way that's going to happen. And we're just hoping that a lot of people heard the warning and responded. One of the biggest problems that we've learned is that most people don't get warnings these days because of the siren mentality, the notion that you should hear some World War II air raid siren, which have never, ever been effective at reaching people inside a home. This is why we preach you've got to have a weather radio. You've got to have one in your house, in your business. And to back that up, you've got to have your smartphone with wireless emergency alerts and a good app and respond to those warnings, know where you're going. And we're hoping that a lot of people did hear the warning tonight and responded to the warning. But again, it's a case where clearly a lot of people have been hurt. And again, I'm afraid that we might have at least one fatality out and through here. Multiple agencies are coming in to assist Fultondale because there's so much damage here. some more reports. And again, you're looking at a Hampton Inn. This is off Interstate 65 at Walker Chapel Road. And again, you can see you've got multiple police units, fire units on the scene. We understand that everybody at the hotel is accounted for. Everybody's been accounted for, and at this point we've heard of no specific injuries at this point. And again, it looks like they're coming up on an O'Charlie's. We'll go back as soon as we can. We'll go right back to that. Nobody wants to see us. All they want to see is that. So again, as soon as we get that shot back, Hoover Police is sending assistance to Fultondale. We understand Tarrant is sending assistance. Many of the local agencies are sending in assistance to help Fultondale try and do search and rescue. This is a phase of search and rescue right now because people are entrapped and people are injured. State troopers are involved, the ALEA is involved, but it sure looks like some of the most significant damage is on Newcastle Road. Major structure damage, multiple entrapments, and people are, the first responders are in there right now trying to help these people and to get them out. And it sounds like a very challenging situation up and through there. Wow. I'm going to pull up a shot here. This is from John Brown. John, of course, is one of our legendary chasers, and John is out tonight. I want to show an image that John is showing here. This is, we can take an image on WEX 05, please. This is one of the businesses damaged in Fultondale. And again, hello, anybody back there in the back? We can take WEX. Okay, we'll fix that real quick. Thank you, JD. I just want to show some of these images to let you know what it's like. We can take that now. There we go. This is a business that is in Fultondale, and it's just been totally flattened. Apparently a towing company. I don't want to say the name of it because I'm not 100% sure that's the correct name, but again, this is what it looks like in Fultondale right now. And again, please, I hope that you heard our call from the Fultondale Fire Chief asking people to stay out. The best thing you can do is just to stay out of there. Please do not go in there to get pictures. Do not go in there to get video, to do a TikTok, to do any of this stuff. Don't be some knucklehead. And this is one of the biggest problems first responders have nowadays. It's these cowboys that want to come in there and, you know, get some YouTube views. Don't do that, please. Have some respect for these people that have lost their homes, that have lost everything, people that are injured up and through there. This is not the time to do that. Have we got our live shot back by any chance, or we lost that up there? Okay, if you can get that reestablished, need to take that just as soon as we can. Let's go back to the radar quickly. Just want to show you where we are.
I wanted to show Fultondale because we do have another line of thunderstorms that will be moving towards the Fultondale area pretty soon. Some light rain falling in northern Fultondale, but some heavier rain is on the way. At this point, there's nothing severe with this. We do have a lot of lightning with that, though, and likely you're going to hear some thunder, very heavy rain. So at this point, I know those crews are out there doing those cleanup efforts. We will start to see the rain pick up here within the next half hour or so in Fultondale. But once we make it through this next batch of rain, you will be done with the rain for the evening. This is going to be that main line that's going to move through. And then if you live north and west of where this line is, your severe threat is going down. So your severe threat is coming to an end. Let's take a look here too at where we have some of the heavier rain falling. That's moving from Pickens County into northern Greene County here. So also, we've got rain about to move into Romulus, moving through Buell, moving through Coker, moving through the city of Tuscaloosa, northern parts of the city of Tuscaloosa. It stretches towards Kellerman and then into Toadvine, Gilmore, Alliance, Oak Grove, with some what appears to potentially be some small hail falling near West Jefferson at this point near Williamsburg, where you're seeing some of those bright purples. Near Flat Top is where we could see the potential for some small hail. But I want to reinforce at this point we do not have any warnings out for our state. We do not have any severe thunderstorm warnings. We do not have any tornado warnings at this point. just some thunderstorms with the possibility of producing some small hail or some gusty winds below severe limits. We do have rain falling across much of northern Jefferson County. Near Newcastle, it is raining at this point. Near Fieldstown, it is raining at this point. But the city of Fultondale, at least for the moment, you are still dry. We are starting to see some indications of potentially some hail falling here just to the south of Flat Top, and that will be moving across I-22 here pretty soon near Graysville. So where we're seeing the black colors there, that's indicating the possibility of some hail falling. And our hail detector is showing that as well. So where we have that pink blob right there, which I'm also going to take off this tornado watch in the background, the yellow color. There we go. Where we have that pink color, that's where we could see some hail falling at this point. So we are going to, okay, we do have a new tornado warning that was just issued for Calhoun, Cherokee, Cleburne. So this is going to be that same, likely that same cell that has continued on.
Let's go up. So again, if you're just joining us live here, we're going to be bouncing back between tornado coverage now of real-time weather and what's happened. We're going to have to focus on this new tornado warning that has just been issued. So again, this is a new tornado warning that has just been issued for parts of Calhoun, Cherokee, and Cleburne counties in northeast Alabama. The potential tornado is near Piedmont. Piedmont is located right here. And again, this is going to be at a fairly distant location from multiple radars, and this probably gives us our best view. So again, Piedmont is right there. My finger's on Piedmont. Possible tornadic circulation just west of Piedmont. And again, we're going to pop on the Polygon here if we can in just a second. But the bottom line is, everybody in southern Cherokee, Goshen, back over to Spring Garden School, the town of Piedmont. This is all north of Jacksonville, by the way. This is extreme northern Calhoun County. This has nothing to do with Anniston. But again, there's your Polygon. Piedmont, back up to Goshen, back over to Spring Garden. In the far northern part of Cleburne County, you got to be sheltered right now. We have a possible tornado, and again, this is not a classic tight circulation, but the Weather Service believes is a course of least regret. You better be sheltered. So again, the call to action right now is for Piedmont. You've got not much time here. If you're in Piedmont, go to a small room now. Near the center, lowest floor, away from windows, helmets if you've got them. Okay, go to your shelter. We don't want anybody in cars or mobile homes. So again, this is a tornado warning in effect now for northern Calhoun, southern Cherokee, and parts of northern Cleburne counties in East Alabama. This does not include Anniston or Oxford or Jacksonville. It's all north of there. And again, the concern right here is Piedmont. That's the town of Piedmont. That's the possible tornadic circulation coming into town right now. Once that leaves Piedmont, that's going to be moving up into the far southeastern tip of Cherokee County. And again, this has nothing to do with Weiss Lake, nothing to do with Center or Leesburg or Cedar Bluff or Galesville. This is all far south of there, down here in this far southeastern tip of Cherokee County and the northern tip of Cleburne County as well. And again, there's the southern extent of your Polygon right down and through here. So again, the concern, it's going to be from Nances Creek along Highway 9 right up into downtown Piedmont, then up to about Goshen. And then back over towards Spring Garden. These are places in southern Cherokee and northern Cleburne counties. Let's look at the correlation coefficient just to see if we have by chance any debris, and we don't at this point. So at this point, we're not seeing debris being lofted. I will say that we are at a great distance from all the radar sites here. We don't have a really good sampling of the lower levels. We can see this from the high top radar from Birmingham, from Atlanta, but the radar beam is probably 8, 9, 10,000 feet off the ground at this point. And again, this is not a really tight tornadic type circulation here, but based on the history of what has happened tonight, is a course of least regret. The Weather Service has gone ahead to post a tornado warning here. So again, this is the town of Piedmont right here, and that's the largest population center in the path of this possible tornado. So everybody in Piedmont needs to be sheltered right now. And then again, up into Cherokee County as far north as Goshen, over here to Spring Garden School, then down into Borden Springs and northern Cleburne County. And again, this has nothing to do with Heflin, nothing to do with Interstate 20. This is far north of Interstate 20. Anniston, Oxford, Heflin, no problems at all down there. This is extreme northern Calhoun. And again, we stress that even Jacksonville is not involved in this. This is north of Jacksonville. Again, that's Highway 21 right here. This is Highway 9 right here coming up out of Jacksonville. and down toward the White Plains. And there's Piedmont right there. So we've got a possible tornadic circulation basically right on top of Piedmont right now. So this is a tornado warning in effect for northern Calhoun County, extreme southern Cherokee, northern Cleburne. And again, in Cherokee County, Goshen back over to Spring Garden. In Cleburne County, Borden Springs. This is all north of Oak Level. This is north of Grantley, up in the northern part of Cleburne County. So again, that tornadic circulation is on top of Piedmont. Soon it's going to be moving really close to the county line here that separates these two counties. This is Cherokee County and this is Cleburne County right here, okay? So again, we are going to be kind of focusing on this, but at the same time, understand we've had major damage with major injuries, potential loss of life tonight north of Birmingham with a violent tornado that came through Fultondale and parts of Center Point. There has been some damage in Clay and Chalkville, but the damage does not seem as severe there as it is in Fultondale tonight. And again, we're going to be going to our news crews in just a second, but before we do anything, we have to be sure that you understand that if you are in Piedmont, do not get out of your safe place. You've got to stay sheltered. This won't take long. That circulation is going over Piedmont right now. So again, we have a tornadic circulation over Piedmont that will be moving to the east, very close to the Cleburne-Cherokee County line. If you're anywhere near that county line, really Spring Garden or south, or maybe north of Borden Springs in Cleburne County, just be aware of that. And we're starting to see some evidence of lowering here, these lowered values of the correlation coefficient that might be the first evidence of some debris that's being lofted here. And remember, at a great distance from the radar sites, we're not going to get a really good sampling of the lowest levels in through here. So again, we have a tornado warning in effect, and this is in effect until 12:45 this morning. It's 12:15 right now, so about 30 more minutes. And again, we'll watch to see if this correlates with debris that's being lofted. We'll watch for trends. If that continues to go negative, then that means it is not a hydrometeor. It's not hail. It's not a raindrop. It's not snowflake. It's something else. It's boards and bricks and glass and parts of buildings and things like that, okay? So if we can do a double box, what I would like to do in the back, JD, is to double box the live shot from Fultondale we have with me with the radar, because we have two issues we're dealing with. We have major tornado damage in Fultondale and parts of Center Point. We have many houses that have collapsed. We have many people that are trapped. We have many people that have been injured. We don't know the exact information. Nobody knows right now because first responders are doing a search and rescue. So we're going to double box me in one box with this so you can watch the current situation in Northeast Alabama, and the other box so you can watch the damage situation that is north of Birmingham and Fultondale. So in just a second, you're going to go to a double box, and we'll do that. And I just wanted to show you what's happening in Fultondale as well. I can see it here, and there we go. Thank you. So again, on that one side of the screen, this is in Fultondale. This is a Hampton Inn that was hit by a violent tornado earlier tonight. We understand everybody is accounted for that was at the hotel. So at that particular spot, there was no injuries, but that is the type of damage we are seeing throughout Fultondale. But again, right here, we've got this lowered CC, which is potential for some debris that's right on top of Piedmont. This is an amazing product. If you watch the correlation coefficient with that tornado that produced the damage you're seeing in the other part of the screen, it's darn good. But again, that circulation is over the city of Piedmont, moving northeast. In about 5 minutes, we can give an all clear to Piedmont. The best possible case here, this thing is aloft. It's going aloft over the city and not touching down in the city, but we don't know that. Again, the radar beam is probably 8,000 feet off the ground at this point. And again, that will be moving right over here toward the Georgia state line. And again, these are some of the arrival times. I can't quite see those, but maybe you can see those at home. But these are communities in extreme southern Cherokee County and the far northern part of Cleburne County off to the east of the city of Piedmont and through here. So again, in just a mere moment, we can give a Highway 9 all clear. Not yet, but in about 5 minutes, we'll clear Highway 9 and points back to the west. And again, you can see, and again, I'm not totally sure that's debris being lofted. That's a little noisy, and that might not be. But it's just something we're watching here. So the tornado warning in effect for extreme northern Calhoun, northern Cleburne, southern Cherokee, in effect until 12:45 this morning. And again, we have the possibility of a tornado that's over Piedmont moving northeast. And again, I stress this has nothing to do with Anniston, Oxford, or Heflin. That's all way to the south. This has nothing to do with Center, Leesburg, Sand Rock, Cedar Bluff, Galesville. That's far to the north. This is for a small area here, northern Calhoun, southern Cherokee, and northern Cleburne. And again, Piedmont is right there where my finger is, and that's US 278 going over into Georgia. So that will be in Georgia here fairly soon. And again, in about 2 minutes, I'll give you an all clear for Piedmont and points west, Highway 9 and points west. Not yet, but in a couple of minutes, and we hope that there's nothing going on here. And again, we want you to take these warnings seriously because the double box shows you this is what's happened with these things tonight. It has been a really rough night for areas north of Birmingham, specifically Fultondale and the parts of Center Point, and then ultimately into parts of Clay and Chalkville. It has been a very, very rough night tonight. We do have a report now of one person trapped on the 3rd floor of that Hampton Inn. So again, we have a report, and again, these are all very credible. One report of one person trapped on the 3rd floor of the Hampton. Now, it might be power's out and they can't get to the stairs, or the elevators obviously aren't working in a situation like that. But we have so many other agencies that are stepping in to help Fultondale, coming from different parts of the county. But again, the one message that we're trying to give for everybody is to be sure that you don't go up there. And again, if we can put that, I'd like to keep the video if we can. Okay. What we're trying to do here, I want to let you see it here on television. You don't need to drive up there. The Fultondale Fire Chief says, don't come up here. You're going to totally interfere with everything we're trying to do. This is search and rescue. This is serious business. And so we're just going to stay with these live shots as long as we can. They're going to, I think, reestablish that in just a second. But anyway, this is our Polygon. This is for East Alabama, Northeast Alabama, and to get your bearings straight, we have, and again, that's really not a tornadic signature, quite frankly. That is not. It looked a little better about 5 minutes ago, but now we can give an all clear. So Highway 9 is right here. Piedmont, you're clear. All clear. You're good. If you're in Piedmont, you can come out of your storm pit. You can come out of your safe place, take your helmet off. You're good. So from Highway 9 back off to the west, all clear, including the town of Piedmont. The greatest concern now is going to be along Highway 278, which is this road right here coming out of Piedmont. That runs over into Georgia. And this is southern Cherokee, and again, places around Spring Garden, Borden Springs, Grantley, and northern Cleburne County. So if you're anywhere in this part of the state, you need to stay sheltered until the storm moves into Georgia, or this segment of the storm. And again, I'll be honest with you, that's not a tornado signature right here. It's really never looked that good. But again, the Weather Service believed, based on what this thing has done, that it's the right thing to do is to post a warning, and I certainly would agree with that. So again, for a few more minutes, we got a tornado warning. This is in effect until 12:45. And it is now 12:21. They'll probably expire that early as this thing moves over into Georgia. But again, we've heard of no damage from northern Calhoun, southern Cherokee, northern Cleburne so far. Maybe something's happened over there. If so, we just simply don't know about it. But again, that's a tornado warning that's in effect for extreme northeast Alabama. And again, as soon as we can get a double box reestablished with damage on one side and me on the other side. Looks to me like
that second line is coming through Fultondale at this point with the heavy
let's
rain.
go back to the reflectivity and let's just kind of get a wide view for everybody else. And again, we stress this is the only warning in effect. But yeah, this for first responders, this is just not good. We've got this is the cold front, and we're going to have some really heavy rain out here. Let's put the lightning on real quick. And if we can put the lightning counter on up here too, yeah, there's a lot of lightning, 39 strikes here. What's the time frame on that, Taylor? Is it 5 minutes? I think it's 5 minutes. Anyway, recently there have been 30 strikes in this area. And again, some of the most significant damage was right up in through here. Again, Fultondale, Newcastle Road back over toward Pawnee. This is Pinson Valley Parkway right here. and then back over into Center Point, which is right here. This is where we've got this major damage from a major tornado earlier tonight. And now we've got this non-severe, but still it's got lightning popping like crazy.
This is 10 minutes, by the way.
Okay, 10 minutes, thank you. So, and that's the right thing to do. Our people need to be in their car. We don't want anybody outside. Listen, lightning is frightening. Lightning is a killer too, and you don't want to be outside during lightning. So for the first responders, you've got this new line of storms coming into this tornado damaged area in through here. This will not last especially long. That really heavy rain is probably going to last about 15 minutes, and then you go to light rain, and then you're done. And by the time we get to 1:30 a.m., it's all going to be over for, again, this northern part of Jefferson County. So I just wanted to point that out. As Taylor said, we've got a line of heavy storms, not severe, heavy storms coming into the tornado-damaged area right now. That's the reason the live shots have gone down over there. If you're in Tuscaloosa, it's noisy. You got heavy rain coming in, but again, we stress there's nothing severe happening over here. Nothing severe at all. Let's go back to Northeast Alabama, and again, the reason that we are here working weather at this point is this tornado warning in effect for the extreme northeastern part of the state. This is for northern Cleburne, southern Cherokee, and the far, far, far northeastern corner of Calhoun County. Again, Piedmont, we've given you an all clear. This thing rotated, the rotating part of the storm went right over the town of Piedmont. I've heard of no damage. Hopefully it stayed aloft. But again, this is the segment where there could be a small tornado within this rain area. So again, extreme northeastern Calhoun. This is for areas east of Piedmont, southern Cherokee, Spring Garden, and then down to Borden Springs in Cleburne County. This is all far north of Interstate 20. And let me just say one thing too. I've seen a lot of reports of people that said their phones did not sound, wireless emergency alerts for some reason. We say this over and over. The baseline, every Alabama home has to have a NOAA weather radio. It has nothing to do with a cell network, nothing. It is independent, and they work well, and they will wake you up, and you will know when there's a tornado warning. Every home has to have one. Every business has to have one. NOAA, N-O-A-A, weather radio. It's a function of the government, and they work well. The phone, that's a secondary way. Of course, if you're out and about, it's your primary way, but it's not always going to work. You've got multiple points of failure here. That's why you have to have two ways of hearing warnings. And obviously, sirens aren't going to work. You'll never hear those things in your house during a raging storm. So please consider getting a NOAA weather radio. I've been preaching this for 40 years, and I guess I'll have it on my tombstone. Get a weather radio. Read the blog. All kind of stuff's going to be on my tombstone. But please consider getting one. That is urgent, and you won't miss these. I'm afraid a lot of people didn't hear the warning, and that's why so many people have died over the years in these warnings. They don't hear the warnings. They don't know how to get them. They think they're going to hear a siren. So please consider that. But again, just very, very broad rotation. This is not really a tornado signature. I would not be shocked if the Weather Service expires this a little early. But technically, this warning continues in effect until 12:45 a.m. for the next 15, 20 minutes. But again, one way or the other, this will be in Georgia soon, so I think it's going to be canceled well before 12:45. So let's go back to the reflectivity and a big picture if we can. And again, this is going to show the big picture. And I'm getting reports of pea-sized hail with this in Gardendale. This is what you're going to see. Remember, to be severe, you've got to have 1-inch diameter hail or larger. That's the size of a quarter, or 58-mile-per-hour winds. And these storms don't feature that, but Tuscaloosa, just north of Birmingham, to Gadsden. This is in advance of a surface cold front right in through here. And again, you're going to have gusty winds, small hail, a lot of lightning, heavy rain, but they're just not severe. That's the reason we don't have any warnings in effect for Tuscaloosa or Jefferson or Etowah. The only warning in the state is this small tornado warning polygon. And again, quite frankly, that tornado signature has gone away. In one way or the other, that storm is about to cross over into Georgia in just a matter of minutes. But let's take a closer look at Birmingham. And again, just wanted to kind of show what the first responders are dealing with. And I want you to understand that we have a lot of people that are hurt and a lot of people that are trapped we've got search and rescue going on here. And this is the last thing you want to see, but it happens sometimes. In a situation like this, we've got torrential rain falling now. Again, this is where the bulk of the tornado damage has been, right in through here. Okay, we got major damage, Walker Chapel Road, Interstate 65, then coming out here on Newcastle Road back over to Pinson Valley Parkway. So they're out here trying to do search and rescue, and now they're dealing with this, a line of heavy storms. Again, not severe, but there's a lot of lightning, and you just can't be out there with lightning. 47 strikes here in the last 10 minutes in this particular zone here. And this is about to come on through Birmingham. And again, we stress with these storms, it's not severe, but it's going to be loud and noisy. And with the tornado damage we have had tonight, we just want to give you some level of comfort that there is absolutely no indication of a tornado in through here. None whatsoever. Heavy rain, yep. Lightning, yes. Gusty winds, yes. Small hail, yes. All that. But again, damaging wind, no. Large hail, no. And that's the reason we have no warnings at this point. And again, I guess it's going to come right through Birmingham. Let's go down to Tuscaloosa real quick, and it's kind of the same situation down here. Of course, there's been no damage in Tuscaloosa.
We are showing a lot of lightning from our Children's of Alabama camera as well, looking north. Again,
same thing here. Heavy rain, thunder, lightning, small hail, gusty winds, not severe. Yeah, Taylor, take that sky cam real quick. You can talk about it.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. We've seen quite a few cloud-to-ground strikes within the last few minutes. So we are looking northward. We're looking over downtown Birmingham. This is going to be on top of the Children's of Alabama, our Children's of Alabama building here. But you can see pretty much constant lightning if you look carefully into the horizon. And there are times when this camera is completely lit up there with lightning, and that is going to be those thunderstorms we're just looking at. They are moving through the Fultondale area, and those are drifting slowly southward. So that is going to be impacting Birmingham here pretty soon. So we will see that rain pick up, but quite a few lightning strikes. And I've actually seen some reports on social media, just different people sending in videos and pictures of all the lightning that is out there right now. So there you go. You can see one of those flashes on that screen. Looks like we are losing our, kind of went out of focus there for a second, but you can get the general idea. Yes, a lot of lightning with these thunderstorms, a lot of thunder, loud, but at this point we are not looking at severe weather moving into downtown Birmingham. We will have to monitor these storms. We do still have that tornado watch that lasts through 1 a.m. I'm going to go back to the radar here and just kind of show you what exactly we were looking at there. So as I move that radar towards downtown Birmingham, you can see that line of heavy rain with all that lightning is just north of the city. Heaviest rain still falling over Fultondale, but it does look like hopefully here pretty soon that heaviest rain will move south of your area, and it'll bring with it that lightning, and eventually we will see improving conditions in the city of Fultondale here within the next half hour or so. We're getting a new radar scan in there. And you can see, yes, that rain continues to move southward. You're hearing some sounds. It's different notifications that I'm getting here on my computer. And we have a new notification that the tornado watch has been
They've canceled the watch for a whole bunch of counties.
Yeah, wow.
Which makes sense. But pull up that watch box. Let's show Taylor the counties that have been cleared now. And again, the chance of additional severe weather is kind of fading pretty quick.
It might take a minute for it to come up on here.
I know for sure, yeah, in a minute you'll see some of these counties going away. And again, we stress the only warning we've got is this. And again, there's no evidence of a tornado in here now. This is extreme northern Cleburne, southeastern Cherokee. It's just broad rotation about to move into Georgia. And that's the reason we've not been on it here for the last few minutes. And again, we're back to a double box now. We have reestablished video coming from Fultondale, and it's pouring rain. And again, this is coming from inside one of our news vehicles where they're safe. There's lightning, there's thunder, and it is a nightmare. They're doing search and rescue in this driving rain. People are still trapped in some houses out there. We know that. And again, it's just a bad situation. The weather will improve. They're dealing with this right here, is what you're seeing in the other box right there in Fultondale. And again, the weather will improve out there in the next 15 minutes or so, but it's just rough right now. It is a driving rain with thunder and lightning popping everywhere, and that's the reason everybody's back in their vehicles. But it's very, very, very rough up there. And again, we stress, and this is coming from multiple agencies. Just got a note from the EMA, Jefferson County EMA, asking people to please avoid Fultondale, please avoid Center Point. Don't go up there with your camera and, you know, trying to get YouTube videos. Please don't do that. You know, this is when the first responders need to do their work. And I'll just leave it at that. I mean, there's only so many times we can say that. Some people don't care, which is the sad state of society today. But please let them do their work and don't interfere by going up there trying to shoot TikTok videos, okay? And again, this line will be coming through Birmingham. And again, as it comes through Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, it's coming through Gadsden now. It's going to be loud. It's going to be noisy. You'll hear thunder. You'll have gusty winds. But again, we stress that at this point, there's nothing severe, and the warning has just been canceled for Calhoun, Cherokee, and Cleburne. So the tornado warning has been canceled. That's off the board. The counties that were cleared are Fayette, Pickens, and Walker. So the severe weather threat has ended for Pickens, Fayette, Walker, Cullman, Morgan, and then counties back to the north and west. The tornado watch has been canceled there. In these other counties, the watch goes until 1. I do not expect the Weather Service to extend that. The Storm Prediction Center is the risk of additional severe storms after 1. It's low, not 0, but fairly low. But again, that's your activity on the cold front coming through roughly along Interstate 59 right now. And again, we stress that tornado warning that was in effect for southern Cherokee, northern Cleburne, canceled. There's been nothing there for the last 15 minutes or so in terms of any danger.